Insecurity. Nigeria reaping what it sowed, Okowa says. So Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa is saying that Nigeria is reaping what it sowed concerning insecurity. Let's see what he has more to say about this. Delta State Governor Senator Ifeanyi Okowa has said that the insecurity currently bugging the country was a result of the bad seed sown a few years back. Okowa stated this in Anambra as a special guest at the 11th Zik Lecture Series held at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. The governor described the security situation in Nigeria as a hydra-headed monster that has undermined public safety and is threatening the continued existence of Nigeria as one united, indivisible country. The surge in mass kidnapping, insurgency, banditry, herder-farmer conflict, ritual killings, and other acts of terrorism is, to say the least, frightening. With the advance in technology, terrorists are becoming more sophisticated in their operations, using more advanced technologies, including drones, GPS systems, and encrypted messaging services to spread propaganda and recruit others into their network. It is my considered view that Nigeria is reaping the harvest of the bad seed it sowed a few years back by obliging kidnappers with ransom payment. It was a fatal mistake that spawned a huge industry in kidnapping, he said. So what he's saying is that because when kidnappers started, we started giving them money and they became a huge industry. According to him, there's also a strong link between increased terrorism and inequality and inequitable distribution of wealth. The widening gulf between the rich and the poor in our country is alarming. He further noted, equally alarming is the poverty rate, which stood at 40% in 2021 and is believed to be around 45% in 2022, which translates to 90 million citizens living below the poverty line. This has led to disenchantment and feelings of alienation among our teeming youth population, leading to a rise in cyber crimes, kidnappings, ritual killings, and other violent acts that undermine our national security. Okowa said other contributory factors to the current state of insecurity in the country include the absence of modern security architecture, easy access to weapons by citizens, lopsidedness in power sharing, religious bigotry and intolerance, and the lack of respect for fundamental human rights of the citizens by the government. Proffering solutions, the Delta State Governor outlined. Going forward, we need to urgently draw up a holistic plan to address our security challenges in the short, medium, and long term. Aside from a modern security architecture anchored on technology, we must muster the political will to deal decisively with criminals regardless of their ethnic groups, religions, or status. This is imperative to tackle the problem of herdsmen-farmers conflict, which is fast becoming the greatest threat to our nation's unity and economic well-being. The nomadic Muslim Fulani pastoralists and the largely Christian farmers of various ethnicities have continued to clash, resulting in loss of farmlands, economic crops, cattle, and lives. This threat to our country stability and unity needs to be tackled urgently to reduce the level of insecurity and to ensure food security. It is my considered view that ranching and cattle colonies with the support of the federal government is a way out of this quagmire. Furthermore, criminal herdsmen must be apprehended and made to face the law, and internally displaced persons need to be quickly resettled in their homes. Speaking about the forthcoming election, Okowa, who is People's Democratic Party PDP vice presidential candidate, said he is optimistic that in line with the guidelines of the new Electoral Act, which compels bimodal voter accreditation system (BVS) and electronic transmission of results, hijacking of ballot boxes, and other election-related violence will reduce. He added that as much as Nigeria needs a strong leader, it also needs to build strong institutions. He mentioned Nigeria's institutions that need to be strengthened to include police, media, judiciary, legislature, and INEC, among others. So this is what Okowa is saying about insecurity in Nigeria, that Nigeria is reaping what is sowed years back. And the first thing he's mentioning here is immediately the kidnappers started kidnapping Nigeria, Nigerians were also quick to payment of ransoms, rather than law enforcement agents like the police, the military, to go after kidnappers and get them and let them face the law. Were quick to paying, and that automatically made kidnapping a big business in Nigeria, and a lot of people went into it. And coupled with the fact that the poverty level is high, unemployment rate is high, a lot of disenchantment, a lot of disenfranchised citizens that needs to make a living, kidnapping became a big business in Nigeria. All right, that is what Okowa is trying to say here. And he went in to say, for us to, to handle all of this, we must have a concerted effort and plan in place, to go ahead and curb this thing. Some facilities need to be in place, and he's talking about technology. All right, and these kidnappers are using high tech now to do their business. So Nigeria is supposed to use high tech in detecting them. Unfortunately, Nigeria did NIN now. They said they were going to use NIN to track kidnappers. How many kidnappers did they use NIN to catch? This country is real Nollywood. It's a gaming country. So Okowa mentioned a lot of problems bedeviling Nigeria. We talked about the nomadic Muslim Fulani pastoralists, all right, that are moving around, collecting people's farmland and killing farmers in their farms. The truth about all of this Okowa is saying is this: he has been a governor in the state now, I think, for almost 8 years. Now, all of these things he's mentioning here, which of them has he done as a governor? How has he alleviated poverty in Delta State? How has he managed the herders farmer crisis in Delta State? How has he managed the kidnapping in Delta State? How has he managed the issue of unemployment in the Delta State? So because he is talking here, because he went for this meeting, and then he's talking everything there as if, use it as a medium to campaign. Right? He used this as a medium to campaign. At Oka, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, he went there for 11th Zik lecture series. And there he's telling Nigerians what to do to move Nigeria forward, because he is the vice presidential candidate of PDP, and then lining up behind his principal, who is Atiku Abubakar. So he used this medium to campaign now. You are bringing out all the issues. These are issues that were used to campaign when they were going into power. Now they are using it to campaign again. This crop of Nigerian politicians need to be retired, frankly speaking. All the things he mentioned here were not new when he became a governor. Now he has been a governor for 8 years, and he is saying them again. So does it mean that as chief security officer of a state, the executive officer of a state, he does not have resources or power within his domain to make sure this thing does not happen? Are there no headers in Delta State causing problem? There was last time the Fulani had a very serious clash with some people in Ueli. All right, and then between Benin and Asaba, they are all full there inside the bush there. So what has he done? It's okay. He has just said what he knows, and he has used this medium to campaign. Let me also hear your comments below as well. Thank you.